Hello and welcome to video 2 of lesson 2.2, all about charts. In this lesson we're going to look at adding indicators to your charts. We're going to go into a bit more detail about time frames. We're going to look at enlarging the chart and reducing the size, and we're also going to look at the data window. Okay, so we're going to start off with a couple of easier ones. Enlarging the chart with, if you look up on your toolbar up above here, you've got your plus sign and your minus magnifying glass. Easy as enlarging your charts just by hitting on the plus there and minusing it by clicking on the minus there. It gives you more bars, more candles in your view, so you can see where the trend's been going. You also notice that there's a chart shift button at the top there. If you click on that, it will bring your chart back into a range where you can see what's going on at the present time, giving you a little bit of space in front of that there. Okay, and there's also auto scroll, which means if you click on this one, it should scroll backwards and forwards as you scroll, and it will flick back to the start position there. Okay, looking as we're on the toolbar here, we'll quickly have a look at some of the other buttons and what they do. There's different ways of adding indicators, which is another part of this lesson. You can see here there's a button here which has all your indicators listed down below. Okay, we'll also, if you go to insert at the top here, you can see you have the same list, just on a different tab line at the top there. Okay, we've got a picture of a little clock here. This is your time periods. As we showed in video 1, you can change the time of your chart like so. It's 1 minute, 5 minutes, 30 minutes, and you can also do that from these tabs along here. Got 1 minute 1, minute 5, minute 50, minute 30, 1 hour, 4 hours day, week, and finally a month. You've also your templates there. We show you how to save a template. You've got a quick button there for your templates. So you've got save template, load template. You've got Adam lesson 2, which we set up in video 1. Which is the template that we've got on at the moment. Okay, we also went through the different types of charts. You can see there's the line chart, the candlestick chart, which is what we like to use. We've also got the bar chart. Okay, back to candlestick. Expert advisors there, which is your button for on or off. You can turn all your, these are trading robots, which we'll go into in another lesson. You can turn them all on and off from this button here. You've got meta editor. This is a program for writing trading robots and for developing indicators. This is for meta editor programmers. Okay, we won't be doing any lessons on that. And then we've got the new order button, which is another way of placing a trade. As you can see there, we've got a window opens for the euro US dollar, asks you the volume, stop loss, take profit, instant execution or pending order, and it gives you the price with the spread. As you can see, you've got the spread there. You've got 1.368 for a sell, 1.3170 for a buy. Only a 2.5 pip spread there, which is pretty good. Okay, we'll go more into that on a later date. Strategy tester. This is a window where you can test your robots. You can test your EAs. Example, there's a couple here which will automatically come with the program. You can see one there called moving average, and you can test that against past data. And we'll have a look. There will be a lesson that will go into that. That's another time. Okay, you've got the terminal, which is basically your trade as they're happening at the moment. Obviously you can lose that and have a bigger chart. or you can have that there. You've got your files navigator here, which will give you a list of your expert advisors that you have installed. List of indicators, again another way of adding indicators to your charts. Okay, we've got the data window, okay, which we are going to show in this lesson, which will be where we'll go to next. And let's just close that down for a moment whilst we finish this. We've got Market Watch, which is here, the list of currency pairs down the side here, the bid and the ask price, and we've got profiles here, which is like the start button. Okay, we've got the list of currency pairs there, as I showed you before, for starting charts, for opening new charts. And then you've got various things here that you can use over your charts. You've got the crosshair pattern, which is great for looking at levels and for viewing different things. You can view the distance between, say, a low and a high by holding down your left mouse. That gives you, it shows that it's 48.3 pips. Okay, and you can draw lines, horizontal lines across your chart, certain levels, wherever you want. Okay, you have, if you right click on your chart as well, if you draw something on there that you don't want, click on your click on your chart, it's got an objects list, and now you see it's a vertical line, so I can tick that, I can delete it, take it away. You've got your horizontal lines as well, another one for doing support resistance levels, which we'll go into in this lesson. See that there? Okay, draw, say there, as a resistance level. Okay, again, don't want that just yet. Objects list, horizontal line, tick it, delete. Okay, we've got trend line. Okay, you can look at a trend. You could draw two low points together, for example, gives you a declining trend line. So you do all sorts of things on your charts here. This is what they're designed for. This is what technical analysis is all about. And then some more advanced settings here. We've got question channels, which gives you opportunity to draw a declining channel, to break out to those channels, etc. Again, this is something that we'll show you how to use in later lessons, more advanced lessons. Okay, Fibonacci retractments. This is again another advanced level. You draw from a low point to a high point, and it gives you suspected levels that a currency will withdraw to whilst it's on a current trend. Again, we'll go into that in a later lesson. Okay, and then we can obviously add text to the chart. We can label charts, etc., etc. All sorts of different features there. Okay, there are some other things across the top here. We've got view. You can change your toolbars. If you ever lose any parts of your toolbars, if you go to view, you'll be able to bring them back across there. All your things about your charts, which is basically on your toolbar as well. There's various tools here, which we'll go into at another time. And then basically your windows, how you want your windows to be displayed. And there's a whole help center as well. Okay, right, the next thing we're going to look at is the data window, which I showed you here earlier. It's just this little bullseye thing here. We open this. And what you've got here, it can show you the date, show you the time, and it gives you an open, a high, and a low, and a close. Okay, this will give you this of any candle that you go over. Okay, so for example, point at this red candle here. It shows me that the time, the date was the 29th of the 8th, 2013. It was 9:30 in the morning, and the open price of that candle is 1.33043. Okay, it shows that the high price of that candle was 1.33069. So as that candle opened, you can see you've got that little wick at the top there. That just shows the opening price is if it's a red candle, the opening price will be the top of where that candle stops and the wick starts. If it's a buy candle, the opening price is where the candle is where the candle starts at the bottom, and where the wick comes down to at the bottom there. So it's obviously started and it's gone up in that time period of 30 minutes. Okay, if it started and gone down in that time period of 30 minutes, the candle will be red. Okay, so we've got the high price, which is the highest point including the wick, and we've got the low price, which is the lowest price including the wick. Okay, and we've got the close price, which is the bottom of this red candle. Okay, so it's not the low price, it's the close price. As you can see how the candles line up. As one closes, the next one opens at the same time, and they should line up so that the two bases of the candles, the top or the bottom, or the top and the top, or the bottom and the top, will line up as so. You can see that's the same all the way through, maybe with 1 or 2 pip gaps in between. Okay, you can see there you've got a green candle, stops, opens up immediately, the price starts to go down, so it opens up with a red candle and continues down. Okay, and this is what your data window for. This gives you an idea. This just helps you to find prices that you're looking for. For instance, you might say, okay, well, here we've got a couple of wicks which stop at the same sort of price. We've got a couple of candles, they're stopping all around about this price, but they're slightly off from this line, which we know is 1.3246. So we can use the data. We can use the data window, and we can hover our mouse over this red candle. So right, the high there was 1.3252. Okay, when we look at this candle, the high there was 1.3254. So there is in fact 2 pip distance. And you can see that one actually looks like it's higher, but in fact this one is 2 pips higher. Okay, so that's one thing you can use the data for. I mean, if you're looking for to enter a trade on a new high on this level, then you would look to what you think is the highest candle. And like I said, I thought originally it was this one. I check it with the thing, and there's actually 2 pips difference, and the highest candle is this one. Now that could mean the difference. I might have been looking at the trade here, seen a green candle, so well, I'm going to buy when I make a new high. I'm going to look at this one and go, well, the new high on this particular resistance level is 1.3252. I'm going to get in at 1.3253. When in actual fact I would be wrong there, because looking at this candle here, you can see that there is 1.3254. So I could have in fact get myself in at the point where it's about to reverse, and it would be a losing trade. So this is why the data window is a useful tool and very important for you. You'll use it quite a lot in discovering support and resistance levels, entry points and stop loss points. Okay, we're going to look at time frames in more detail as well. Let's move on to that next. Just bear with me a second. Okay, time frames are a great way of discovering what's going on, and they can be misleading as well, so it's important that you do check multiple time frames when you're discovering a trend, what the direction of a currency going. Okay, here I've just pulled up the daily chart, and as you can see that from the way that the price is moving there, you can see that there's a definite rise in the lows of the price. What I mean by a rise in the lows is each low is getting higher. Apart from here, you've got a small breakout as well. And you can see here this sell trend here at the end looks relatively small compared to these quite big long trends down here. That's on the daily chart. Now if you go to say the 30-minute chart and you look at that trend at the end there, which is this starting all the way here and running all the way down, you'd think, well, you know, that's quite a big sell situation. But like again, like I said, on the daily chart, it looks relatively small in comparison to some of the other ones. So when you might be looking at it thinking, oh, it's got to turn and go up eventually, or it's got to go up soon, then you can look at the daily chart and think, well, actually, hang on a minute, there's still plenty of downward momentum in this. It could, you know, it could go down as far as these prices here, 1.2809, okay, which is nearly 400 pips away from where it is at the moment. Okay, again, 1 minute chart. I find that the smaller time frame that you use, you know, the less accurate you're going to be on your trend. You've probably heard of maybe scalp traders that we use a 1 minute time frame and some really tight moving averages, and they'll literally get in, take a pip, get out again, get back in, take a pip, get out again, and you know, they'll do that all day long. It's not the way that I like to trade. I kind of trade in between the two ranges. I'll trade with a 30-minute chart, and I'll trade with a 4-hour chart, and that generally gives me a decent perspective of what's going on. Okay, right, so that gives you an idea of what the charts are for. Also, when it comes to support and resistance levels, which we'll go into in the next lesson, it gives you a better understanding. You can see them more clearly through the different time frames. Say for instance here we've got the 30-minute chart again on the euro. We can look at that and say, well, okay, there seems to be a little bit of resistance here at the 153 level. Okay, so we had a little line there. So okay, this is our new resistance level that we're looking to break through to continue the downward trend. And you look on the 4-hour chart, and you can see that level there. You can see that has popped up before. It looks like it's been a resistance level here. Okay, so I said resistance before, I meant support. This is support here where we're at the moment. You can see that it has been a resistance level before, as in the price has come up, it's hit this resistance, it's gone back down, again it's hit this resistance, and it's gone back down. Eventually it's broken through here, it's continued up, and then as it's come back down, it's sat on this previous resistance level, which has now become support. Okay, we're going to go more into that in the next lesson. I just wanted to use that as an example on the time frames. So when you're in doubt, you know, of what's going on, you can look back. See, I'd never see that resistance level on this 30-minute chart. I'd have to go way back here, and you know, I wouldn't do that if I was looking at what's going on at the moment. It's easier just to flick through the time frames, and there we go. There's that level. On the daily as well, you can, you notice I keep clicking on this chart shift button. Every time I change time frame, it kind of brings my chart. Well, it's not doing it now. It's probably because it was on the chart shift level. Yeah, so if I change the time frame there, it ends up missing off half the chart. You just click on your chart shift button there, and it'll bring it back to where it should be. Okay, was that the daily chart? There you go. See again, there's that support level. You can see where the resistance that I was looking at earlier on the 4-hour chart, you can see it was resistance, and then looking back, you can also see it was pretty much a resistance level again here, and here, going right back to 19th of September 2012 on the daily chart. So you can see it's been a fairly significant level, sort of in this trade here of the euro US dollar on the daily. So you may well be looking at that and thinking, okay, well, it's going to bounce off this level and it's going to go back up, or it's going to break through this level and it's going to hit the bottom of the trading range, which is around about here. Okay, so this is why it's important, again, to look through the time frames when you're establishing your support and resistance levels. your entry points and where you think the trade might go in the future. I think that's it. Just checking my notes here. Yeah, that's all we're going to cover in this lesson. It's been quite a long video, so I'm trying to break it down into smaller blocks. So get yourself onto video 3, and we're going to have a look at some more stuff, adding some indicators.